Good evening, everyone. My name is Lori Ferraro. I'm zooming in from Boise, Idaho. Welcome to our Wellness Zoom. So great to have each and every one of you on here tonight. And I'm very passionate about wellness. And the older I get, the more passionate I become about it. It's fascinating to me, all the things going on out in the world, all the things that we are being bombarded with. Over the last several years, I've realized how many toxins are out there, the things that we're drinking, breathing, the clothes we're wearing. There's all kinds of things that I could go on and on about. And all I can tell you is I've been married to my husband, Greg, for 32 years. We have two daughters, two son-in-laws, and three grandsons. And I want to do the best I can to age as gracefully as I can and to be aware of my environment and to put healthy living products in my body that are going to help my body. So I'm so excited tonight to have an amazing person on here that is going to be sharing so much valuable information with each and every one of us. And we're so blessed to have her and that she took time out of her day and her schedule to be on here to be sharing. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to have a paper and a pen, and you're going to want to take notes. I promise you're going to have so many notes you're going to want to take. We also have 7 testimonials, one testimonial for each of the products that we're going to be talking about tonight. You're going to hear some amazing testimonials and you're going to go, oh my goodness, wow, I had no idea. You're going to be blown away by the testimonials. So we're going to share an hour together. I want you to have your favorite drink, sit back, relax, enjoy the evening. And with that, I'm going to introduce my friend, Dr. Karen Bailey. Now, what I love for Dr. Karen is she's retired. She's out enjoying life. She's living her best life. And it's fantastic to watch her world travels and see the things she's doing and hear about her morning walks. I mean, she's doing all kinds of stuff and she's aging gracefully. Like I said, she's retired. She's double board certified in family practice as well as obstetrics and gynecology. She practiced in 3 countries, you guys, not 1, not 2, 3, Canada, US, and New Zealand. So I am very thankful to have Dr. Karen Bailey on here this evening. So I'm going to turn it over to my friend, Dr. Karen.
Thank you, Lori. Very kind of you. And just so everybody knows, my interest in the supplement industry really goes back 16 years. And it was purely selfish motive that got me involved, because you hit a certain age and you go, oh crap, what have I done to my body? Do I want it to continue? What can I do to slow it down or improve it as I age? And so a lot of what I'm going to share with you tonight is stuff that I've learned in those last 16 years. And I'd really like to start with going through just some general things about what makes a supplement good versus bad. And I'm sure you've all had kind of that pushback from someone who says, there's nothing wrong with the supplements I'm taking. And how do you counter that if you don't know? So one of the first things that I think is really important is the stuff that's in them. Now, there's stuff that shouldn't be in them. So when you start to look at some of these supplements, if they start to have additives, fillers, colors, artificial flavoring, even allergens like gluten or soy or corn or nuts, sugar, preservatives, lubricants, these are all things I don't want to see in the supplements that I'm going to put in my body. And the good news is with our 3 products, we don't have those things. So if anybody comes up to you and says, well, gee whiz, I've got this nice tablet and it's cheap and I won't name any names, I'm going, wrong. Lots of fillers in this, lots of stuff that makes it hard so it doesn't disintegrate in the bottle. But the problem is it going to disintegrate in your system well enough to be absorbed? So when you have a hard tablet like these, as part of your supplements, these are probably one of the least desirables to have. So get rid of those if you can. If you have something like these, which have either a vegan capsule, a gelatin capsule, hydroxymellulose, I think it is, these are better. And there's a couple of reasons why these are better for you. They're going to dissolve a lot quicker which is going to allow your body more of a chance to absorb what's in them. The other thing that's nice about these is if you have someone who has trouble swallowing, these can actually be pulled apart, and the ingredients can be put into things like a yogurt or an applesauce or something like that. And especially for kids, if you're trying to give them some of this, take them apart, just discard the casing. But you're going to get much better chance of absorbing what's in these things than with those hard tablets. So the second thing you can ask people is, okay, is it in a capsule form instead of a tablet form? Because now we're moving into something a little bit maybe better for us. Another way of giving supplements is in these nice little gel caps. And there's more and more of the vitamins that are coming out with the gel caps. But again, this is a nice alternative to the hard tablets. And this is on par with the capsules. So again, you can ask people, what kind of tablets or supplements are you getting? Are you getting a gel cap, a capsule, a tablet? Because these are preferable over the hard tablets. One of the best is in a liquid, and I pulled up our Éternal. We'll talk about it more, but liquid. And that's the nicest because you can just drink it down. There's nothing that has to be absorbed or broken down to be absorbed. It's ready to be absorbed. So the other way to do things, which we're not going to cover with our products, is obviously intravenous. But that has its own drawbacks too, because you're looking at cost, expense, time. And even though you give some things intravenously, they're not well absorbed. So when we start to look at what makes a good product, again, what kind of absorption techniques are being used? And 3 is using, I think, 12 different types or 14 different types of absorption mechanisms to try and improve absorption. Because no longer is it, take a supplement, it's what is getting absorbed from your supplement. And we'll talk more about absorption later on, because we have a company that has actually invested in the science and looked at absorption, and it's just phenomenal. So you can always ask your doubters, and does your vitamin company do any kind of absorption studies? Do you really know what's being absorbed? By the way, the industry standard is only about 10% of the ingredients on the label are absorbed. And you will find when we talk about our absorption rates, they are much higher. So those are really important things. The other thing to ask people if they're doubters is ask them if their supplement has any third-party testing done. And the third-party testing will, first of all, verify what is actually in the supplement. And it's well known that there are supplements that say we've got A, B, C, D, but when they test it, they've got B, C, D, no A. And, that's no good. You think you're buying something and you're not getting anything of value. So all of our products are third-party tested, done by independent labs. So you can't fake it. So this is really, really important for the quality. And I think it's important if I'm going to put something in my body that I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. Now, when you put all that together, the last question, I just love this one with people. Ask them if their supplements are listed in the PDR. Now, the PDR used to be the physician's desk reference. It was about a 3-inch big book that sat on the corner of the doctor's desks. It was in all the pharmacies. And basically what it is the reference that all the pharmacists, physicians, and any other prescribers, naturopaths, osteopaths would use to look at the prescription drugs and a few nutraceutical products that are available that have met the high standard to be published in it. And all our products, amazing, they are in the PDR. The PDR has now become digital, so it's the prescriber's digital reference. And the neat thing is that this is available to anybody. If you go to the internet and you go pdr.net, and in the search bar, put in the product these people take and see what comes up. Most of the time, it will be nothing found. Put in 3. Guess what comes up? All our products. Or you can list them individually and they will all come up. But these books tell you about side effects, contents, drug interactions, doses, how to take them. It's extremely helpful information. And for those of you who are on prescription drugs, you may find that helpful as well. So those are some of the things that I look at to say, is this a good supplement? Is this a bad supplement? And hopefully that's going to give you some ammunition to go back to your doubters and get them to maybe have a look at our amazing products. Back to you, Lori.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. I got so many notes already. I hope you guys have your paper and pen. Oh my goodness. Dr. Karen's already on fire and I love it. I love it. So I will introduce our first product, which is Vitalité. And when Dr. Karen was speaking about, tablets versus gel caps, I mean, you can squeeze all these. I love them. They absorb. We know they absorb. How do we know they absorb? Because people can take these in the morning, right away in the morning, which I encourage because it's going to give you some energy. It helps me with my energy. You're not going to have a stomach ache. You're not going to feel like you want to vomit. And I did say on an empty stomach. And you know what? Why is that? Because of what Dr. Karen was just talking about. Absorption, absorption, absorption. Back to you, Dr. Karen.
Now, the Vitalité, the studies that we did on absorption actually show 44% absorption. And you may go, 44%, that's not very good. Remember, the industry standard is 10%. So is this the equivalent of taking maybe 4 times of the other vitamins you might have been taking? Maybe. On the other hand, when you look at the vast array of ingredients that we have put in Vitalité with vitamins, trace minerals, amino acids, probiotics, berry blends, enzymes, superfoods, and the omegas, I'm kind of looking at that going, I can buy one product now and it's replaced 4 or 5 different bottles of different supplements that I would have used in the past. And when you look at the cost of this, it's less than probably 1 or maybe even, well, probably less than 2 or 3 of those products alone if you were taking 4 or 5 different products. So very, very, very good product. This to me is a foundational product. This is something that I don't care who you are. This is a product that we should all consider being on or starting with. And Lori, you're right. You can take it on an empty stomach. I've been questioned a few times, is it okay for a prenatal vitamin? This is an amazing prenatal vitamin. Yes, you can take it. It's also recommended take it in the morning. If you take it later in the day, especially close to bedtime, you may find that you get this really busy active brain and you don't sleep so well. So don't take it at bedtime. Please take it in the morning. And I believe we have a testimonial now.
We sure do. I'm going to turn it over to Gayle. Hi, Gayle.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gayle from Oklahoma, and I wanted to share my experience with the Vitalité product. I come from a family that we have a lot of autoimmune illness in our family. And in my particular case, it tended to attack my liver. And through the years, I had been going to a liver specialist and was quite concerned with what was going on. My numbers were off the charts, and it was very discouraging. And fortunately, I had the opportunity to start the Vitalité and have been using it religiously and have found, knock on wood, this is wonderful news. I just got a phone call from my doctor that not only have my numbers reduced, but I am now in the normal range. And that's strictly from doing the Vitalité. Nothing else has changed. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's been a wonderful experience for me. It's not just a subjective situation. I've actually experienced it and I have the numbers to prove it. So back to you, Lori.
That is absolutely, absolutely incredible. I'm so thankful. What a blessing. What an absolute blessing. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Karen.
Yeah, this is a really interesting testimonial because there's so much that's just subjective where people say, well, I felt better. I had more energy. But when you can look at actual lab work and numbers and see the difference, this is really powerful. And I do want to remind people that these personal testimonials are individual results and they are not necessarily going to be applicable to everybody. So just bear that in mind. And also a reminder too, that when we're talking about the products and we're talking about these testimonials, that, we're not trying to diagnose or treat or cure or prevent anything. And I always suggest that you should check in with your healthcare provider if you have any doubts about it. On the other hand, if you tell your healthcare provider that, oh, by the way, they're in the PDR, that brings a whole element of credibility that there isn't much better than that when you're trying to get credibility for a product. So, Lori, what's our next product?
Our next product is our collagen, and it's a liquid collagen. I love how you talked about liquid products. But you guys, this is our collagen. Not only does it help with our hair, skin, nails, it helps with joints. It helps with all kinds of things. I love this product. I love the way it tastes. Back to you, Dr. Karen.
Now, this is an interesting one. And basically, as soon as you put it in your mouth, potentially it's already being absorbed. I like the way that we're doing the collagen too, because we're cycling it. So people may get a box of it and it's a month's supply and there's really 10 envelopes. And they go, what? What do you mean there's only 10? Well, what this is doing is it is stimulating your own body to try and produce more collagen. Because if you give collagen every single day of the month, which most collagen products recommend, what you're doing is shutting down your natural production because your body becomes reliant on the outside collagen you're trying to feed it. The other problem is a lot of those other collagens are not in a form that's well absorbed. They're extremely large molecules and hard to absorb. Ours is micronized, so they've made it very tiny. It's hydrolyzed, so they've made it kind of friendly, if you will, to the water in the cells, so it's much better absorbed. So these products are, it's just brilliant. And we got 5 grams. It's marine collagen, which is one of the better ones for your hair, skin, and nails. And the cycling is also augmented because we put pomegranate in the collagen. And this also is a stimulant to natural collagen production. So Lori, I think you have a testimonial for us.
I sure do. I'm going to turn it over to Judy.
Hi, my name is Judy Baggett, and I'm from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. And collagen to me, well, everybody says it's good for your hair, your nails, your skin. And my hair, for being 79 years old, should be thinning, but it's not. In fact, I've been going to my hairdresser every 5 to 6 weeks, and I'm thinking I should be going every 3 to 4 weeks because it's just growing so much all the time. And my skin, well, at 79, I'm pretty happy with the way my skin looks. Of course, Visage helps that too, but the collagen is what got it started. But the biggest thing I have for the collagen is my 80-year-old husband who has dementia, and he is in a home and has been for 4 years. And I am giving him collagen a little bit more than what Dr. Karen says. I am doing 10 days and then another 10 days and off for 10. And I do that for 2 months. And then I turn around and do 10 on and 20 off for a month. And then I go back to the 20 and 10. And the reason for this is because I am seeing with the collagen that he is being more cooperative. He is more coherent. And he is just improved since I have started him on the collagen. And I wasn't always giving him collagen. In fact, I didn't start until our last convention in Salt Lake because I talked to one of the doctors and they said, well, why aren't you giving him collagen? And I said, well, I mean, I don't think he cares about his skin and his hair or his nails anymore. And they said, well, yeah, but it really makes a difference with the brain function. And their epigenetic came out, their study, and it brings up the bdnf, which is for brain function. It brings it up 570%. So yes, I'm sure that is what's making the big difference, that with the extra Revive that I give him, which also helps with brain function. So thank you very much for having me give this testimony.
Judy, that's really amazing. And when you do look at the collagen, and we know it's important with the immune response and joints and all the other things, but you brought up the bdnf gene and the cognitive function. And we have studies that absolutely show that this is one of the genes. It's kind of sitting there like a switch, ready to be turned off, turned on, and have an impact in the body. And so it certainly sounds like your husband is benefiting from the collagen and the stimulation of that gene. And I hope that he continues to improve even further for you. By the way, your skin and hair look beautiful. Back to you, Lori.
They sure do. And wow, what a fantastic testimonial. That was really powerful. Again, another blessing. I love how these products are helping people. Our next product is called Revíve, and you can see these little orange pills, the little orange beans, right? And this is going to help with inflammation. And I know, Dr. Karen, that inflammation is one of the #1 causes of disease. And if we can help to eliminate some inflammation in the body, I know it's going to help our body run a lot more proper. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, there's no question we're becoming more and more aware of the fact that inflammation is an underlying factor in almost every disease we have to deal with. And so whether you're trying to prevent a condition and use the Medicare or use the Revíve preventatively, or you've got a health condition that's got inflammation as part of it, and you're using it to slow that inflammation and slow maybe the course of the disease, there's benefits both ways. The other thing too is, the recommended dose is twice a day, but if you're having some additional stress short term, bump it up. And people I've heard have taken even up to 8 pills a day, 2-4 times a day, but double it up. Also, if you've got some inflammation and you're not getting any results with 1 twice a day, try taking 2 twice a day for several days. And if that isn't working, bump it again to maybe 2-3 times a day and see what happens. And then as you get things under control, you can start to slowly taper it down. But this is really, really good for healthy joints. It's going to help ease up some of the muscle stiffness, helps with recovery after your exercise. So you of those who are the exercise fiends like Patrick Toussaint, we need to make sure that you're taking lots of your Revíve. And one of the reasons that this stuff works so well is when you look at the ingredients, we have curcumin, we have boswellia, and the black cumin oil. And these are some of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories in the plant world. Now, curcumin is very poorly absorbed. You can put all that curcumin you want in any Indian cooking. First of all, if it doesn't have fat with it, it's very poorly absorbed. But because we're using different things like liposomal technology, our absorption rate on the Revíve is actually 30%. Now, remember, the industry standard and in the studies, the organic substance they compared to, which was curcumin, is 10%. So this is like getting 3 times more than what you would normally get just taking any other curcumin supplement. So definitely something to consider. Now, for the exercisers too, there's sea buckthorn fruit oil in this, and that's really good for reducing fatigue. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be fatigue, I guess, related to exercise, but it is helpful. The other thing they've put in here, which is really interesting, is black pepper. And black pepper is another thing that helps absorb the curcumin. So Dan Gubler, our scientific officer, Dr. Gubler, Dr. Dan, oh my God, the guy is brilliant. And to put all this stuff together in this funny little capsule that we can all swallow that isn't as big as a horse pill, I'll tell you what, there's some good science here. So great product. And no doubt you have a testimonial for us.
Yes, I sure do. I'm going to turn it over to Can.
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is Can Tran in Seattle, Washington here. And so my testimony today is on Monday, I was helping a friend of mine move. And so to be proactive with that, I double up on my my Revíve. And then in the evening, I took double up on that as well. And I've been just taking it for the last few days. And today, I don't feel any aches or pains or anything like that because it's a really good anti-inflammatory. And so I'm back to 100%.
And that's really good because we all know if we do an excess amount of activity that we're not used to, whether it's yard cleanup, helping someone move, most of us ache for several days afterwards. So you were very wise to start taking it ahead of time. and increase the dose and then keep going for a couple of days. And look at you now, like you probably don't even feel like you were worse for the wear, so to speak, after all that. Well done. Good job.
Right. Thank
Back
you.
to you,
Absolutely.
Lori.
I love that. And I love like how you said, Ken, you were proactive and you're like, I don't want to get sore, so I'm gonna do this. I know it helps with that. And Dr. Karen, I love how you were sharing earlier, you know, some may need to take one, some may need to take two or three or whatever it may be, or two several times a day, just for a moment to help with some of the inflammation to get things under control. And I love how you mentioned that, because our products are all natural products. I mean, you're not going to harm yourself by doing that. So I think that was really important that you mentioned that, and that people know, you know, you can follow the label as is, or if you feel you need to bump it up and just get a little bit of extra help, you're able to do that. So I love that you shared that, Dr. Karen.
Yeah. Lori, before we go on, just one more thing about that is the traditional anti-inflammatories that people have been able to buy over the counter, like your ibuprofens, naproxens, that type of thing, they're very, very hard on your liver. And you can actually cause liver damage with some of this stuff, and even some of the Tylenols with renal failure and whatnot. So this is an excellent alternative if people are having trouble with the traditional anti-inflammatories. Traditional anti-inflammatories too can be extremely hard on the lining of your stomach. And so again, if people are having trouble tolerating traditional anti-inflammatories, this is just an amazing substitute that is so safe, and it's plant-based. So when you need more, it's like going out to your garden and digging up more roots and eating them. It's not like taking more tablets from the pharmacy that are just going to burn your inside and really stress your liver and kidneys to get rid of. Go ahead.
That is so powerful, because that is one thing I didn't used to know. And I mean, I would take a lot of ibuprofen each month for menstrual cramps, and I would do it for days. I mean, I would take like every 4 hours, you know, for like 3 days in a row. And I mean, when you add that up over those days, I mean, that's a lot in a month. And I know it hurt my gut. I know it hurt my insides. I didn't know why. I didn't know where it was coming from. But looking back, oh man, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I would have known, and I wish I would have had this product to not be doing those things. So I love that you shared that, because sometimes I think we think, you know, just because something is, you're able to buy it over the counter, ibuprofen, Tylenol, oh, you know, not a big deal. Well, I feel in my case, I mean, maybe not everybody feels this way, but I feel in my case it was a big deal. And I do think it did some damage in my gut. And I wish I hadn't done that. So moving on, I'll move on to our Purify. This is a gentle cleanse. I love saying gentle cleanse. This is going to help detox some major organs of our body, which I think is so important: liver, lungs, colon, kidney, and your skin. Oh my goodness, like I mentioned at the beginning of the Zoom, we're being bombarded with toxins every which way we turn, right? I mean, there's things in our water, there's things in the air we're breathing, there's chemicals in the clothing we're wearing, even after you wash it. There's chemicals in our deodorant and our perfumes. We could go on, makeup, yada, yada, right? So we're bombarded with toxins. I love that we have this to do a gentle cleanse. And I say gentle, you're not going to be locked in your bathroom all day, anything like that. I personally like to take 2 every single evening. Now, do you have to take 2? No, you can take 1. I know a lot of people take 1. I like to personally take 2 every evening, just because of all the toxins I know we're all being bombarded with. So I'm just comfortable with that.
Yeah, this is a really nice product, and there's a lot of detox stuff out there, but they'll focus on one system. Let's detox the liver first. Let's do the kidneys next. Let's look at the bowel. But this has ingredients in it that are going to target all 5 at the same time. And as you said, it's very, very gentle. This is not something that is going to have you running to the bathroom nonstop at all. Do take it at night, please. That is the best time to take it. And one of the things that's really good in it is it's got the fulvic acid, which is going to help bind heavy metals. Heavy metals are hard to get rid of. Heavy metals are really, really bad for our system. And we, as you say, Lori, are just surrounded by toxicity, whether it's air pollution, stuff that's put in the food during the processing of it, forest fire smoke. especially if there's been buildings that have been burnt in the smoke and you're exposed to it. The chemical toxins in that is absolutely terrible. So this is definitely something that most of us should probably take one a day. But, you know, you have an extra night out with the girls and a few glasses of wine, take an extra couple even. Definitely. If the forest fire smoke is bad, take some more. It's not going to hurt you. The other place I see this being really important is when people are losing weight. Our bodies store toxins, especially in our tummy fat. And as we're losing weight, those toxins are being released and they have to go somewhere. But if they're not getting out of our system, they're going to accumulate. So really important, if anybody's on a weight loss journey, please use something like this. And again, I would up it to probably 2 every night if you're on a weight loss journey. And you have a testimonial for us.
I sure do. I'm going to turn over to Curtis.
Hey, you guys, thank you. My name's Curtis. I'm up here in Post Falls, Idaho. Although this isn't the most glamorous product that we have, you guys, it's absolutely amazing. I put it into the mix as kind of like the basics of getting started in this business and getting these products into your system. I can't think of a better way to detoxify, like Lori has said. It's gentle. It doesn't, trap you in your bathroom. You don't have to make sure you're 5 minutes from a restroom every place you go. It's a great product to have, even if you just feel a little irregular. You guys know what I'm talking about. It takes care of these issues that we have. I've had family members that have had high levels of heavy metals in their blood, and this product has leached those things out and just got those toxins and those heavy metals out of their system. So I can't really speak highly enough for this product, although, it's not the top of the list, but it's definitely the bottom of the list. It starts everything off. So back to you, Lori.
Very powerful. I love it. Back to you, Dr. Karen.
Well, and Curtis, you mentioned an interesting thing with the bowel function, and definitely being sluggish or slow or infrequent with your bowels is not a good thing, because that is one of the mechanisms we use to get rid of waste. And I've heard from other people as well, like you, that it does improve the frequency, but it's not something where you're having to live by the toilet. But at least if you're starting to move more regularly and get rid of that stuff, that's excellent. And to hear that you actually have had relatives with heavy metal toxicity where this has been something that's been very helpful to them, that's just absolutely wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. Back to you, Lori.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, these testimonials, they're priceless, right? I mean, all the information Dr. Karen's sharing, the testimonials, again, I hope you guys have a pen and paper, because this is like the most valuable information. So our next product is called Imúne, and this product is going to do just that. It's going to help to support our immune system. I think we've all learned over the past several years how important it is to have a healthy immune system. And I love how this product just helps to support that, Dr. Karen.
Well, and I think one of the things that's really good about this product too is it's very helpful in supporting kind of our gut microbiome. So this is all the little bugs and creepy things in our bowels that we don't want to talk about. But we've also learned that about 80% of our immune system originates in the bowels. So we've got to have healthy bowels. So this product is really, really good for that. And we've got 2 different types of immune systems. We're not going to get into the details, but it supports both of them. Now, not only does it increase our immune response if we need it, like we're fighting an infection, but there are some people, when they have an overactive immune system with, say, an autoimmune disease, they may need to dampen down the immune response. And the immune is very good at regulating whether we need to upgrade the fight or downgrade the defenses. When you're fighting an infection, I love it. We got nano silver in there. We've got zinc in there. And these are things that a lot of times you can just add to your regime when you're trying to fight like a virus. But you don't have to go out and buy a jar of zinc and a jar of selenium or a jar of nano silver, because it's all in our product. The other place that this has been really interesting is with people who have seasonal allergies. And when they get the hay fever in the spring, or, the ragweed comes out or whatever, if they're taking this consistently, a lot of people will tell you that they are just not getting the severe allergic reactions and the constant drippy nose and, cough and whatnot that they usually have. So this is something that you could take every single day preventatively. You can increase it if you're starting to fight something. You could save it for just when you're fighting an illness. But my reaction is, why wouldn't you just take it every day and try and prevent that illness from coming? It just makes total sense to me to do it that way. The other thing that's really interesting is, we're not going to talk about it in a lot of detail, but there's kind of quorum sensing. And quorum sensing is this new idea that the bad bacteria can kind of talk amongst themselves, and it's like plotting strategy to take over. It's like winning the battle in the war. And this helps stop that communication between the bad bugs so that they're less likely to gang up on us, if you will, putting it in simple terms. So, Lori, let's hear our testimonial.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Kristen.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kristen Ruby, coming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Imúne is one of my favorite supplements here. I've been a respiratory therapist forever. You're always, when you're in the hospital, you're getting sick, you're catching everything that everybody has. I've always been worried about that all my life. I'm currently working in the clinic and working in a pulmonary function lab where people are coughing, people are sick, they're coming in. And I just, in the background, I'm always nervous that I'm going to get sick. But ever since I've been taking this product, it's been helping a lot. And even if I do catch something, it's only lasting a couple of days. And I still get nervous. I look around and people are coughing at me, like coworkers. I'm like, ew, but I have not, knock on wood, gotten sick. And another thing is too, I think it's really helped with my autoimmune disease because the blood work is showing that I'm doing very, very well. My doctor is very impressed with what's going on.
Well, Kristen, that's really interesting. Another testimonial where we got actual lab work, an objective measure of something improving with this supplement. But I also look at your job being very high exposure to picking up bugs from the community. And when you think of the average person, 5 to 7 infections a year, and I would bet with you taking your Imúne, you're nowhere near that. And with your exposure, I would expect that you literally could go from one infection to another infection to another infection year round. So that's a great testimonial. Thank you for sharing. Back to you, Lori.
Yeah, I love that. Wow, how powerful. I mean, just something to help support that immune system and help protect. It's a protection. Our next product is called Éternal, and it comes in a little sachet pack. It's also liquid, and this is a very, very healthy antioxidant. And I love that because, first of all, that's kind of a buzzword, I think, right now, but it also tastes really, really good. I like to keep this along with my collagen. I like to keep it refrigerated. It's not necessary. You can keep it in the cupboard, on the counter, whatever you prefer. I like it chilled. And I have to say, Dr. Karen, I take several of these a day because I do like the taste and I just find it to be such a healthy snack. And I like what it does for my body. So I probably take at least 3 a day. I love this. So back to you.
Yeah, no, this is a really great product as well. And antioxidants was one of the things that 16 years ago really piqued my interest when it came to supplementation. And we often mention, gee, it's got resveratrol. And resveratrol is something that's in good French wine. And we always say that that's why the French don't have the heart disease we have, and they all look so young and healthy. Well, the typical bottle of red wine has 12 milligrams of resveratrol. Our little purple pouch that you just showed us has 200 milligrams of resveratrol. Do you know how many glasses of red wine you'd have to drink and how much Purifí you'd have to take if you were trying to get that same amount of resveratrol? So really good. The thing that I love the most about the Éternal, though, is the glutathione, and it's not often talked about, but it's our most potent antioxidant. And antioxidants are involved with kind of anti-aging or slowing down the aging process. They have a mild anti-inflammatory effect. They help support an immune system. gee, we keep hearing that theme over and over again too. So we're starting to get the picture that all these products work synergistically with each other. One product's good, 2 or 3 together is better than just 2 or 3 additive. We're getting multiplication effects from these. So again, just brilliant things. The other thing for all of you people who are a little vain and like the nice skin and hair, we've got more collagen in the Éternal. And so that's always a good thing. A lot of people, though, when they start to take this, will say, do you have more energy? Did you notice more energy? Well, if you're a high energy person, you won't notice it. But if you're someone that is struggling with energy, this is one of those products where you may notice that it does help improve the energy that people have. So who have we got for a testimonial?
We have Renee.
Hi, everybody. I'm Renee, and I'm from Lakewood, Colorado. And oh my gosh, I love this stuff. So I do a lot of house sitting and caretaking for different animals. And so I was out working, and we had a big snowstorm. So the people that I was house sitting for, they couldn't get out and clean out their paddocks. And, you know, in the mud, you have rivets, like you have tire marks. And so I was out there cleaning up all the horse poop, and I wasn't even halfway done. I mean, it was freezing, and I'm pushing a wheelbarrow. It was hard. My body was aching, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know, I got to do this. And so I went inside and I took 2. I drank 2 of these guys, sat down for a half hour, and I said, okay, I got to go get out there. Went out, finished the job. It took me 4 hours, guys. I finished it, went back inside, and I had 2 more. And I thought, oh, tomorrow I'm going to be miserable. Woke up the next day, nothing. I felt great. And I tell you what, it's wonderful. And then I also do leather work. And so I have to hand stitch sometimes, and my hands get really sore. And so I pop some of these babies in there, and I can get back to work, and it's amazing. I love this stuff. It's incredible. And yeah, it also helps with the skin and the hair, but I love it.
Oh, that's really good, Renee. And I think what you're really seeing is the benefits of the anti-inflammatory effects of the Éternal. And it may not be as potent as Revíve, and I don't know if you take the Revíve as well, but there's no question that the antioxidants in this can make a difference to inflammation, to healing, to energy. And I'm thinking of what you're doing out there for 4 hours in that pasture going, oh my God, I wouldn't want to keep up with you. And yet the following day you're going like, I just feel amazing. What a testimonial. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. Lori, back to you.
Yeah, that is incredible. How awesome. I mean, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I love it. I love it. So our last product that we're going to talk about is Visage, and this is our Neuro Cosmetic. And I know Dr. Karen will explain a little bit more about that, but this is a fantastic serum for the face. They did find that there's a skin-brain connection. That's where the Neuro Cosmetic comes from. And how would you like to have a serum that when you put on your face, it not only helps your skin to look better, but it also gives you like a slight hit of dopamine and helps you to actually feel better. I mean, that's pretty crazy. But again, Dr. Karen can talk about the science behind that. Now, we do have a skincare line. I want to make sure everyone knows that we actually have a line. So we have a cleanser, we have a toner, and we have the serum. And then after the serum, we have a very nice moisturizer that you can put on. So it's a great skincare line, but I really love how this Neuro Cosmetic, like I said, not only do you look good, but it helps you feel good. It just right to your brain. So over to you, Dr. Karen.
Yeah, the Visage are really nice products. And so it is a 4-part skincare system. On the other hand, you don't have to use all 4, but to use all 4 together, you're probably going to get much more satisfactory results. So the cleanser is designed to remove the impurities, and just walking around, every day with the air and everything, we're getting impurities in our skin. and you don't want to strip the skin of all the natural oils. So this one doesn't. It also provides a little bit of moisture, and it helps prepare the skin for the absorption of the serum and the moisturizer later on. Once you've used the cleanser, we recommend that you have the toner, and this will help remove any residual impurities if they weren't removed by all the cleanser. It helps maintain our natural pH. We don't want to upset the acid balance, and there's a lot of products out there where they're either alkaline or acidic, and we don't necessarily want that. So this is nice because it's not going to upset our natural acid balances. Helps remove the excess skin, helps remove the dead skin. And the dead skin is what makes us look like we've got that dull skin that doesn't shine, that doesn't glow. And it's also got more moisturizer in it. And I don't know, unless you live on a coastal area, most of us can use a moisturizer, I'll tell you. The serum was the first of the 4 that the company came out with. And I think we all fell in love with the Visage name with using the serum. And, they're advertising it as reducing your reduction in wrinkles, expression lines, hydrating the skin, improving elasticity, supporting the collagen's production. And I'm going, sign me up for all of those. I need them. And when you put it on, you don't feel greasy. It dries beautifully, and yet your skin feels so soft. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I put it on other parts of my body too that desperately need it. So nice product. The caviar, haven't had a chance to try it yet, but reading about it, oh my goodness, I need to get it, other than the tariff they put on it to come into Canada. Nasty. So it is a moisturizer, and it's it's helping promote the natural skin barriers to all the nasty stuff that's out there. It's got the anti-aging peptides, and it works with the serum with this neurocosmetic effect, where there's connections between the skin and the brain. And they found that there's neat little nerves that, if you're feeling good, looking good, stimulating the right things in your skin, you get kind of this happy stuff in the brain going on. And some of that, I don't know, is it placebo? Do you feel better when you look better? Maybe. On the other hand, you can feel down in the dumps. You put this stuff on, there's nothing wrong in the rest of your life, and you put it on, you go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I feel better today. So it's something that I think is just, again, a brilliant product. Our formulator, Dr. Gubler, to put this stuff together, like, this guy is an absolute genius. And then bringing in some of the quorum sensing too. So get the bad bacteria so they can't communicate with each other. Get the good bacteria so they can communicate with each other. And we've got this brilliant product. So I hope you have a brilliant testimonial for us.
I sure do. I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay. Oh, she's going to unmute herself.
Hi, guys. Thanks. I'm Lindsay. I'm from Alberta, Canada, north of Edmonton. Yeah, I love this skincare line. I've been using the Visage for over 5 months now, but I did just start the whole skincare line. My testimony is a bit about like my past to being a young girl. When I was little, like, sunscreens were not a thing in our family, so never wore that. As a young girl, spent a lot of time outside, always got burnt on my face. I think I'm pretty fair. And as I got older, in my 30s, I started to notice actually some very weird bubbly lumps on my nose starting. You don't think anything of it. I think at first I thought it was pimples and tried to squeeze them. But it has never gone away, and it's bubbles there. Since using the Visage, I actually have noticed that the bubbles up here are like, it's smooth. My skin is now smooth on my nose. I know, and I'm a registered nurse, so sometimes you think of things, they can be a little scary when you're aging and you're like, what's going on? Another thing I found, since the Visage too, and actually our winters get really bad. So I think when I hit a certain age, maybe in my 30s, I started to notice being outside with the kids or doing chores or taking the dogs for walks. If it was cold, windy, I started to get these really horrible sore red lumps on my cheeks too. And it was actually painful and itchy. Now I'm finding I just don't notice that. It's like my skin is really protected. Um, it's definitely got way more hydration. Like going through those harsh winters that we get, I mean, my skin was cracking, drying, you name it. It was horrible. Um, I went through our winter and it was like, holy, like night and day difference being with even just the Visage, but now starting the whole skincare line. I just feel like, whoa, you do the whole skincare line. I love the cleanser that it's cream based. I don't know if my aging, my skin was just getting really sensitive to things and I just couldn't use stuff, cleansers or anything. And it's like trying to find the right thing for your skin. It gets discouraging and frustrating. I have found the right stuff. It does not irritate my skin. It doesn't itch, it doesn't hurt, it doesn't sting. I love the cream-based cleanser. The benefits of the toner, and then I put the creme on and it just feels like it's just like the icing on the cake because I feel like my skin is just like tightened up. But you're right, hydrated, moisturized. And I just want to quickly share one thing too. My daughter, 13, she's been using the Visage as well with me. And now the whole skin line totally has helped clear up her acne. And I know, and that's frustrating for girls. Normally they get that. But also she's very active. So not just this hormonal acne that she's starting to experience, but like playing hockey, helmet, sweat, everything. It was getting really bad. And it's just, she still gets the breakouts with her cycles, but no, it's totally made a difference with her. And mood wise, I think we've all noticed she doesn't, it's like, well, but no, she's actually pretty even and chill. And she does have her moments, but for her, she seems to really get through them a lot better. And her sense of humor is crazy. So it's really nice to see her blossoming and just, I don't know, I find like maybe self-confidence a little more. So I just wanted to share that about Emily. And one other thing, I went out for dinner with girls the other day, my friends. I got ID'd. So I'm 38 years old. I have not been ID'd in a long time. And I was like, whoa, maybe it's the Visage. So that's my testimony. Thanks for letting me share, guys.
Oh, Lindsay, that's amazing. Both the story of yourself and your daughter, Emily, and I've heard others too, where the acne has definitely improved. But I'm looking at your skin and it is gorgeous. And I'm looking at you going, are you sure you're in your 30s? Because I think you could pass for a teenage friend of your daughter. Just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for your story. Lori, back to you.
That was incredible. Yes, I agree. You could definitely pass for a friend of your daughter's. I know it. No wonder you got carded. They're probably like, there's no way she's 21. Oh my goodness. I just can't thank everyone enough. My goodness, Dr. Karen, again, so many amazing notes. I hope you all took notes. I bet you have a full page of notes as I do. So much valuable information. I absolutely can't thank you enough. And each testimonial, wow, what powerful, powerful testimonials. Thank you to each and every one of you who shared. And I love, Dr. Karen, how you started off this Zoom talking about, how not all supplements are the same. and how things, you want something that absorbs versus doesn't absorb. And I was just thinking of a quick story that went along with that I probably should have shared at the beginning when you share that. But my uncle used to own a porta potty business in Minnesota, and he would go around and bring his porta potties to all different like softball tournaments and concerts and all those types of things. And when he would clean his porta potty, and he told me this years ago, I mean, years and years ago, when I wasn't even taking any supplements. I mean, this was probably 25, 30 years ago. And he said when he cleaned his porta potties, he said there's a grate at the bottom, and sitting on this grate, every time he would squirt them out with the hose, there's a huge mound, and the mound was full vitamins, exactly like that, Dr. Karen, that did not absorb. And I remember thinking, ew, that is so gross. Now that was like 25, 30 years ago when he told that story, and that's never left my mind. And that visual was just so strong of him saying a mound on there. And I'm gonna quote my uncle. This is not coming from me. This is a quote from what my uncle told me. And he said there was two in particular that he could still read the names on, and it was Centrum and One A Day. That's coming from my uncle who cleaned porta potties. He said, not only were there whole vitamins, two of them I could always read the name on, and those were the two. How crazy is that, Dr. Karen?
Well, the crazy thing is, though, that those products are still available and nothing's changed, and people think they're getting a good vitamin, and they're buying by price, and they're buying by the name, and it's garbage. There was an interesting comment that just came up in the chat here too. Rachel, she says, we would see the tablets, I guess, on x-rays in the intestines and colon. No, yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Wow.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy. It is crazy. So again, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Karen, for jumping on tonight and sharing so much valuable information. I want to thank each and every testimonial. And I just want to say, whoever invited you on this Zoom tonight, man, oh man, tell them thank you, because wow, what was shared is just absolutely so powerful, so valuable, and it's going to help us age gracefully. For those of you that would like to purchase these products, would like to try these products, I want to make sure that you know there's two ways that you can go about that. You can purchase them at retail price, or you can purchase them at wholesale price. I mean, which one sounds better? I would say wholesale sounds better. Well, here's the thing. If you would like to get them at wholesale, it's as simple as paying one time annually, $30 each year, and you can get the products at wholesale. It's like a Costco membership. Anyone have a Costco membership, Sam's Club membership? It's just like that. Well, I can tell you this, I'd rather get the products at wholesale than retail. Completely up to you. The main thing is you get good products in your body so that you can age gracefully, so that you can have help with supporting different things in your body. And you heard all these testimonials. You guys, these products are not on trial. These products are doing a lot of helpful things, and we're so thankful for them. You also heard Dr. Karen say how they're in the PDR. Simply go to pdr.net and type in 3, as she mentioned. Oh my goodness. Now, what if you say, man, not only do I want to take these products, I want to start telling other people about these products. Well, guess what? You can do that as well. And when you do that, you can make some money doing that. Is anyone opposed to making money by sharing something of great value? No, you can not only be a customer, you can be a customer getter if you'd like to be. And we also have daily pay. Who wouldn't want to have daily pay? I mean, up to you guys, but I'll just let you know this. Whoever invited you on here tonight, if that's something you're interested in, if you're like, you know what, I wouldn't mind having a plan B. I wouldn't mind having a supplemental income. I wouldn't mind looking more into this. Let the person know who invited you on this Zoom. And guess what? Tomorrow night, we're going to have an amazing gentleman share how he's done just that. He's not only taking these products and helping his body and referring these products, he's built a huge business. I'm talking a huge business. You can make some side income. You can make, 40, 50, 100, 200, 2,000, 20,000. This gentleman has made millions in this industry. Now, Wherever you want to take it is completely up to you. So if that interests you, let the person know who invited you on this Zoom. I'm interested in hearing about that Zoom. I would love to jump on that Zoom tomorrow night. It'll be a 30-minute Zoom, and you can hear the business side of these products. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on tonight. I want to wish you health, happiness, and again, let the person know who invited you on this Zoom. I'm interested in learning more about these products. I want to get them in my body. I want them at retail or wholesale, or I would like to learn how to build a business about this, and they'll send you a link to tomorrow night's Zoom. Health and happiness, everyone. Have a great night.